Hi everyone, I'm Nu-Trix the Synth guy, and today we're talking about effects pedal. Yeah, it goes well with synthesizers, distortion, chorus, flanger, whatever. But today is a special one. It's called hors d'oeuvre, which is, what's an hors d'oeuvre in English? Some appetizers, if you want. And this one's kind of weird. By itself, it's not really an effect. What I mean by that, it's not a distortion, it's not a reverb, it's not a delay. It's a pedal with a feedback. So if you look at it, it's simple. You've got a dry, you've got a wet. So basically the signal transformed by the pedal. You've got a feedback amount. And for the wet and the feedback, you've got normal phasing and out of phase. Really interesting. Now, this is thing to be used. I mean, you've got input and output and send and receive. So you send it to another pedal. In this case, I was using the flip out fuzz from a screw circuit. The Fairfield hors d'oeuvre is sending the signal to the external box that you have. It's going to be processed and it's come back. So basically you bring the wet and you have a mix of the original, the dry, and the effect sound. But then if you play with the phase, it means everything that is out of phase with the original will disappear, meaning that the original will disappear from these sounds, because something that is out of phase will disappear. Well, equals to 0. If one is like plus 50 and then minus 50, well, the result will be 0. So this is interesting because what you can get is a return of the effect, but you can basically change it in real time using the wet. And then there's a feedback. Feedback, if you play with it, it can become self-oscillating. It can become just a feedback, basically, and it becomes interesting if droning type of sound you want to do. You could even use the pedal without anything else. You know, you would need something outside to send and receive to have that feedback, but this is pretty cool. So let's actually try out. I have this little bass line out of the Novation Circuit mono station. This little sound playing here. So if I don't use it, I've got this kind of bass playing. And now I have, with the effect, actually just a circuit. And I bring up. It's not on the other one. So all I have is just more volume. If I put it wet minus, it will basically, the two of them will be equaling 0 or almost 0. So because it's the same information but out of phase. Now if I bring this up, now we hear something, because what we have is this the distortion of the fuzzed out signal coming back in, and only the equal sound of this equals, you know, it's going to be disappearing, but so you can play with that. There's a slight difference between the two. Then you can actually drop down the dry one and just hear the wet one. So that's, you know, basic stuff. But what's interesting now is to bring up the feedback. Of course, you go back to the effect, make it scream, and then out of phase makes it really cool, because everything that is out of phase, you get that little thing, feedback. That's a cool thing. If I bring the decay out, or even if I stop it, that's my feedback sound. Start again. That's just a cool. So it almost sounds like a guitar sound. Of course, that's from the effect, but it doesn't sound like the normal sound because of feedback. It makes it really aggressive. Bring back the original sound. You got the bass, the dry, out of phase, feedback. This is just like nasty. like this. So that's simple. That little thingy here, the Fairfield circuitry hors d'oeuvre, is just like, it gives a new sound or new options of distortion feedback for your existing pedals that you already have. Also, if you don't use an external one, you just have a feedback, well, it brings a feedback into your synthesizers. Like some synthesizers have 2 ins and outs, so you can actually feedback into it. You could do some type of feedback just by itself. But I like it with the pedals. It's really cool. That's it. Quick one, because it's a simple, efficient, sounds good pedal. And by the way, this is built in Quebec. Actually in Granby, if I'm not mistaken. But it's in the province of Quebec. So made in Quebec, guys. So cheers. Have fun, make music, stay safe. See you soon.